Day 3, we're looking good so far. Last night, after I ate dinner, I ended up not eating anything else. I got busy with some plans, so I finished with around 1,500 calories. So looking good in that regards. And then I weighed myself this morning, and like expected, I'm just quickly losing some of the water weight and the bloatedness that was in my body. So I'm down to 151.5. So in the last 2 days, I've dropped 2 pounds, and those 2 pounds are not fat. I'm not losing actual fat that quickly. It's just all of the glycogen, which is like kind of the, if I'm explaining it correctly, the inner muscular water that's being held on due to all of the carbs and sugars that I had been eating. So starting to lose some of that and get it out of my system. So we're off to a good start. The plan for today is, like I said, it's already almost 1 p.m. I've just been running around doing a lot today. So I already have over 4,000 steps, and also kind of semi-fasting at the moment. All I've eaten today is, well, I haven't eaten anything. I had a little bit of almond milk in my coffee this morning, which was like 20 or 30 calories. So haven't had much. Kind of partially due to tonight, I'm going out to a dinner with some coworkers, and we're going to like a nice-ish Mexican restaurant downtown. And I already looked at the menu, probably going to have like chicken fajitas or shrimp fajitas. But I think something that I've learned along the way is that you can't just, like, obviously you want to lock in to like get where you're going, but you can't like sacrifice having some fun along the way. So I couldn't be full freak mode and just like not even eat at this dinner that I'm going to with some coworkers, and may have a couple drinks too, but it's all in moderation, and then also just kind of like preparing myself for that. So I'm just not going to have as many calories earlier in the day and kind of save my calories for later this evening. And it's kind of like a bank or a checking account if you think about it. If you had like $1,500 or 1,500 calories, and you're going to spend a lot of money, on rent or on a big bill, car insurance bill that you have later in the month. You may earlier in the month not spend as much money so that you can kind of reserve some of those funds for later. And it's kind of the same way with calories is, if in a day I'm going to eat 1,600 calories and I plan on eating like 1,000 calories for dinner, I may throughout the day only have 500 or 600 calories earlier on, and then I can kind of have that big purchase or big meal later in the day. So it's just kind of a way to still have fun and still hit my goals at the same time. So plan as of right now is, like I said, I've just been doing a lot around the house, running around and burned some calories and got some steps doing that. My sunburn is starting to feel better, so I think I may hit the pool, but plan is right now I have a little bit more work to finish up, run to the gym, do a quick workout, and then I have to stop at Kroger to pick something up. So I may get some aloe while I'm there and put that on my sunburn, and then possibly hit the pool, get a quick swim in, not lay out in the sun as long, but if I do, definitely use some sunscreen, protect my skin. So that's the plan as of now. And so I think in terms of food wise, what I'm going to do is while I'm doing this work on the computer, eat my overnight oats that I prepped the other day, and then hit the gym. And then afterwards, I have that chicken thawing. I haven't gotten around to cooking it. It's kind of a not lengthy process, but it's definitely not the quickest. I do usually buy big chicken breast and cut them up myself because it's cheaper to buy the chicken breast. And then I'm also kind of like a freak about cooking it. I like I check the temperature of like every piece, because when you cook it out when you cut it up yourself, the pieces aren't as even. So, you may have a bigger piece and a smaller piece, and I definitely don't want to get sick. And I definitely don't want to overcook my chicken. So I like weigh out every piece, or I get the temp of every piece as I cook it. So it's kind of a process. What I may do, especially since, like I said, it's already 1 o'clock, I have this dinner at 7, and I have to go to the gym, go to the store, do some work, and possibly go to the pool, is I may have the overnight oats, work out, and then have like a protein shake or Greek yogurt. Or maybe I'll make a smoothie with the Greek yogurt and the protein shake, even better. Even though I think I used the last of my lemon bar. I think I have half of a lemon bar protein shake left. Maybe I'll use that. I do want to get some more, because the protein shakes I do have left are like chocolate, or like I think I have a s'mores one that was on sale. Like I said, I usually don't try to have too many protein shakes, but when I'm on the go and have a lot to do, it's like an easy way to get some protein in. But the problem with the chocolate ones or the s'more ones is that it just doesn't go very well with the like a smoothie. I would definitely need to get some vanilla or like a fruit flavored one that I can put into the smoothie. So that's the game plan. I'll keep you updated here in a second. About to head off to the gym. Just gonna loosen up my shoulders and my back real quick, because I think I'm gonna hit a little back day. Been doing some editing, getting some work done on the computer. I had my overnight oats, and the thing about the overnight oats is that I swear the longer that they get to like hang out in the fridge and almost like marinate and come together, the better they get. It's still a little soupy because of how much of the protein shake I put into it, but still really good. I don't mind it. I also, because it's so soupy, I spilled some on my shirt, which is, I had to wipe it off. That's why it's a little wet, but I think it's just really important to stretch and stay limber. I know I've been talking a lot about that, but it's the benefits are just astronomical in my opinion, and is really going to help prevent you hurting yourself. And it also is just good for overall mobility, getting around and moving and doing everyday activities. And it's incredible as you get stronger or as you lose weight and like just improve your body in general, how easier things become in your life. Right now, I have this lasting issue with my house that the air conditioner always stops working, which is unfortunate, but I have this like window unit that I was working on trying to install this morning, and it was in my basement. I had to carry it upstairs, and a couple years ago there's like no way I probably would have been able to do that. So just overall things in your life will improve. But this is basically kind of the routine I do. I usually do it at the gym, or I have these bands at home. The bands are super helpful, but this is I'll kind of run you through what I usually do. Usually I'll do like a back and forth just to like open up my chest and get my shoulders moving. I'll do that like 10-20 times, and then I'll do like a side to side to get my torso and my hips and my abs kind of activated. And then I'll also do like a side by side this way with my arms to get my arms going. Also do kind of like an ab dip to the sides to get my abs and my hips moving. So that's kind of the rundown. Got some carbs in with the overnight oats, and about to hit the gym, so I'll catch you after that. Got back from the gym, hit a back day, and definitely starting to get a little bit of strength back. I think it might be a combination of getting over my sickness, fueling my body with better energy sources, and then also just getting some reps in at the gym. And still just kind of taking it easy. In the past, I've tried several different workout regimens. What I usually stick to is push-pull legs. So push is like shoulders and chest, pull is arms and back, and legs is legs, obviously. So you kind of cycle it, and you would do one push day, one pull day, and then a leg day, and rinse and repeat. The first day back on this, I did a full body, so just to kind of get warmed up a little bit. And in general, I'm keeping the weight lower. I've definitely lost some muscle from taking off time lifting, which is to be expected, but I'll get back to it. And right now I've been doing for each exercise about 3 sets of 10 reps each, which probably isn't ideal for muscle growth, but just trying to get my body used to lifting again. And I've definitely have been feeling a little bit of soreness, but as I progress, I definitely would like to get down to like 2 sets and then rep ranges between 6 and 8, and really just pushing myself to promote muscle growth. So that's kind of the plan. I usually stick to push-pull legs, which there's a lot of different workout regimens, but that's kind of the one I've usually stuck to. And probably any workout routine will work if you just stay consistent and also just go hard and push yourself and are constantly improving. I wouldn't say I'm like a lifting expert. I've definitely learned a lot. And I've been lifting for a long time. I lifted in high school and then on and off throughout my life. And I've worked out with some people that are much stronger than me, and then also just watch like a lot of weightlifting videos and try to learn more about the subject. So like I said earlier, I have that dinner, which is actually at 6 o'clock and not at 7 o'clock, which, so I have a little bit of a time crunch. So I'm just having this Shamrock Farms protein shake. It's 190 calories, 30 grams of protein. Probably not the best macros, but it tastes pretty good. Not as good as Fairlife Core Power, but it'll do. It was on sale at Aldi, and really haven't had that much to eat today. All I had was the overnight oats and this, so I'm probably at around 450 calories, and I'm trying to eat around 1600, so that gives me about 1,000 calories or so to have at dinner, which will work out nicely. I already looked at the menu. Like I said, probably going to get fajitas, so that's the game plan. And most likely will not go to the pool. I still have some work to get done around the house, and instead of rushing myself, I'll probably just get my work done. And then the restaurant we're going to is downtown, so I may just park a little bit farther away in somewhere that I know that has free parking, and then just walk to the restaurant. And that's something I like to do, is just try to maximize getting movement in any way possible. You know, even if it's parking further away from the gym or the grocery store or like wherever I'm going, just trying to get a couple extra steps in. And, you know, if you walk an extra 45 seconds, it's not that big of a deal, but those add up. You know, if you add that up multiple times in a day throughout the week, then you're walking a lot more. So that's kind of what it's all about. It's just maximizing your potential and the amount of movement and exercise that you're getting. And you can do it in small increments, you know, even getting up and taking a 5-minute walk, or just walking around the house while you're doing work for a couple minutes is ideal, and it'll help you out a lot along the way. So I think that's the game plan. Also stopped and got some aloe vera, which I got on, put some of that on, and it's helping relieve the sunburn a little bit. So probably not a bad thing that I'm not going to the pool right now either. So I'm not sure when I'll see you next, because won't be filming dinner because going out with my friends, like I said. But I'll report back on what I had and see if I was able to keep it healthy. Got 1,000 calories or so. And I guess the last thing I wanted to touch on is, and I was thinking about this when I was thinking about what I was going to have for dinner, is I feel like a lot of the time when people are struggling with eating like this or trying to lose weight or restricting their calories, they find it really tough because they are kind of setting themselves up for failure, or they're not setting themselves up for success, is a better way of putting it. And the reason I would say that is because I don't think I get very hungry. Like, I have gone months and months on end with only eating 1,600 calories, and I don't think I get very hungry because I'm eating high volume foods, I'm eating high protein foods, and it really doesn't make me feel very hungry. I always feel full, and I've learned how to space it out throughout the day so that I'm eating intuitively in a way, and also just limiting the hunger. And I was thinking about this when I was going to have dinner because, I may not hit my protein goal today, and at the end of the night I may still be hungry because I wasn't eating in this high volume, high protein fashion. I may still be under my calories, but I wasn't able to hit my protein goal, or also just fill up my stomach with high volume foods like lettuce or kimchi or vegetables. And I'm probably going to get hungry and have to exercise a little bit of willpower to make it through. And if you're doing that day in and day out, then it's going to be a lot harder to stick to because you're going to get hungry and you're going to want to break your diet. So I would say trying to find ways to set yourself up for success by doing high protein or high volume eating. The other trick I have found is that I don't do intermittent fasting because I don't really stick to a strict schedule with that. I know a lot of people will, but what I have found works for me is kind of just pushing off eating until later in the day. A lot of the times I won't have my first meal until around noon, and then that way it lets me kind of push back my eating window into later in the day. So say this was the whole day and I was eating the whole time, I'm gonna have to space it out and have much smaller meals. And if I can kind of close that gap and only eat between this time frame, then I can have much bigger meals in this realm. And also, if I eat up a bunch of my calories earlier in the day, I'm gonna get hungry, and it is very difficult to go to sleep hungry. That's probably one of the most difficult things there is with the weight loss. So if I can have a big meal right before I go to bed, I'm gonna go to sleep feeling satisfied and feel like I ate enough for the day. So I kind of like to delay some of my eating until later in the evening and have a big meal, and so that way I'll go to sleep full. So that's the game plan for now. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, I just got home. It is about 1 in the morning. I went to dinner with my coworkers and went to that Mexican restaurant, and it didn't go too badly. I only had a couple chips and salsa, and then I got the fajitas. Did have a couple corn tortillas. That probably wasn't smart, but I think it could have gone a lot worse. I did pretty good, to be honest, and life's all about moderation. I saved up to still have around 1,000 calories for dinner. Maybe I've gone a little bit over. I'm sure I'll be a little bit bloated tomorrow when I weigh myself in, but I feel like I'm still doing on track, and I've already lost most of the weight. Not to justify myself eating somewhat unhealthy, but that's reality. You can't just be fully 100% locked in 100% of the time. Sorry, there's a moth that's tripping me out. But I had 2 drinks, I think, and I did like tequila and club soda, so better alternative instead of having like a really sugary drink. And then went to the casino with some of my friends and lost some money. Oh, I almost got the I almost got them off there. So that'll do it for day 3. Still on track. I'll see you for day 4.